Okay, so could you say your full name and where you're from?
My name is Shane.
That's okay.
My name is Shane O'Regan, and I'm from County Cork in Ireland.
Okay, and can you tell us when was the first time that you came to the U.S.?
My first time to the US was in 2001. I was here visiting my uncle and my cousin, so that was great. And the only things I remember were Dunkin' Donuts and fireflies.
Okay, and then tell us what you did in Ireland, like with radio, before you came to Moody.
I worked with a station plant there with HCJB called Life FM. I did about 8 hours of programming in the weekends.
Oh, time out.
Sure.
Thanks. All right, that was perfect. But can you start that again? But this time, say back in Ireland.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Back in Ireland, I did about 8 hours of programming on the weekends. I had my own radio show called Rebel Rhythms, which was a dance/electronica music radio show that ran every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. And I got to do just some live stuff there, so that was so much fun. Then I got to do some pre-recorded stuff on Saturdays as well, which was more focused for youth.
All right, and then can you tell us what brought you to Moody?
I basically came to Moody through a scholarship with HCJB Global. They did a fundraiser for solar-powered radio sets for Africa right here at Moody Radio. And they ended up getting way more money than they envisioned, so they set up 2 global leadership scholarship funds. And by the Lord's grace, I got selected as runner-up, and then about 3 weeks before I was meant to go back to school in Ireland, I got notice that the first guy couldn't get his visa, so that's why I'm here. Pretty crazy story, but the Lord works wonders.
And then tell us what your role is here at the Moody Bible Institute, besides being like a student.
Yeah, I do a lot of things outside of just studying. I am a producer with Moody Radio. I produce 3 network programs called Up for Debate, Open Line and Law Talk Live, which are on every Saturday morning. And then I am the station manager for Moody Campus Radio too, so that's so much fun.
All right, perfect. Okay, and then tell us about any culture shock you experienced coming in as a full-time student to Chicago.
Yeah, there's so many culture shocks. I think people always think of culture shock as being like this one great explosion, when it's actually loads of little explosions every single day. So those things, from words people use, from things you can't say, to the way people joke around and really miss sarcasm. So I think some of the biggest culture shocks were phrases I used which were considered inappropriate here apparently. So I sent out a few emails where there was statements said at the end which just didn't roll down here, so a few embarrassing moments.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then tell us about any differences that, as well, just talk about if you see any differences between the way Christians live here versus the way Christians live in Ireland.
Yeah, here I think it's a lot more comfortable to be a Christian, but there are way more resources and way more ways to serve in ministry and get involved and even go overseas. I find Christians here can depend on the body of Christ so much more in terms of finances, in terms of what they're doing together. Whereas in Ireland we are less than 1% of the population, so we are very close-knit and generally tend to be have some different standards in our lifestyles. So we generally have a lot more contact with non-Christians during our day, which kind of gives us a very gritty view of faith. We have to endure a lot of suffering and end up explaining our faith, I guess, on a daily basis, just in a lot more settings. So.
All right, and then tell us what you hope to do when you return to Ireland with the training and experience you've had here at Moody.
Yeah, I really hope to empower others to actually use their tools in media and in the arts to reach people for Christ. So I'd love to do that maybe through radio especially. I'd love to be involved in leadership and training the next generation of Christian broadcasters in Europe.
Okay, perfect. I think we're done, man.
Nice one. Sorry about